There are, of course, electric cars in the United States and maybe even in other countries as well, probably in China, that have done even more driving than this one. But this is the longest range electric car, or the electric car that's traveled the most distance in Australia. It's traveled a staggering, well, in excess of 800,000 kilometers. The savings are enormous. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. I used a company called, this comes to mind, I'll tell you why, a company called Resync Solar to put my solar system here. And as I've mentioned before, my solar system incredibly actually does work even when the sun's not hitting it at all. It's insane. I mean, literally in the evening, 6 p.m. in the night, I'm looking at my app and I'm like, I'm producing power from the sun right now, and the sun's not even hitting it. I mean, solar panels have improved so much. So anyway, Resync Solar is the company I use. I'll put a link in the description to them. I recommend you checking them out if you need to get solar. And the reason I mention this is because I use solar to power my electric car. I pretty much never use anything except my own solar in my house. I did do a road trip where, of course, for some of that road trip, I had to charge, but that's the only time I've needed to use anything except for free electricity. Now imagine you bought an internal combustion car, you drove more than 800,000 kilometers, so more than, say 500,000 miles, and you charged using, well, fossil fuels, so diesel or gas. So you bought an internal combustion vehicle. What would it cost you, right? What would be the cost? It would be enormous. Imagine how many thousands and thousands of dollars you'd spend. Now, the alternative, of course, is to just get solar and get an electric car and to drive 1 million kilometers, and probably in many cases, your electric car will still be working. Evidence we've seen recently has shown that EV batteries last for far longer than anyone realized. The owner of a 2018 Tesla Model S that has recently set records for longevity and range has now done more than 800,000 kilometers. Incredibly, Giles Parkinson from thedriven.io said this: the owner drove more than 100,000 kilometers in the last 12 months since they last reported on him. This dude drives an incredible amount. In fact, The Driven first reported on the achievements of Nigel Reynard in July 2021 when the odometer on his Model S passed the 400,000 kilometer mark. That was a pretty big milestone, with the original brake pads lasting up until that point still. And as you can imagine, if you've got a Tesla EV, you've got full regen braking, you actually don't ever need to use your brake pads. Last year, he reached 700,000 kilometers, and recently he reached more than 800,000 kilometers. Apparently, though, the battery pack was changed once. Now, keep in mind, Tesla Model S's, they're older vehicles, older battery technology. Those batteries don't last as long as the batteries that we've seen in newer vehicles, newer Tesla Model S's, newer Model 3s and Model Ys, and also in other various cars, BYDs, etc. The 75 kilowatt battery pack was replaced after it had done 666,666 kilometers. That's not a typo. I mean, that's insane. 666,666. And Tesla went, yeah, no worries. They replaced it. Now, apparently, the only problems that the car has had were a blower fan for the aircon. And this is what the Tesla tech says. The Model S at this point, this particular Model S at this point is where anything will fail, it's a first for the Tesla techs because it's been around for so long. I mean, this car's been driven so many kilometers. That said, there are other Tesla vehicles in the US that have done similar kilometers. Now, apparently Reynard loves this car, so he's added more Tesla vehicles to his limousine fleet. He now owns a Tesla Model 3 Performance that's done 150,000 kilometers, a Model Y Performance that's done 160,000 kilometers, a Model 3 Highland, 36,000, a Tesla Model X from 2019 that has an 8-year unlimited kilometer warranty as well. He said that's a life hack for limousine service. Now, these cars aren't limousines, of course, but anyhow, Reynard says the Model S has saved the business around $20,000 a year in fuel and maintenance, so it's paid for itself, and it's still worth money. I'm not sure that a Model S with more than 800,000 kilometers, by the time you're watching this video, it's probably 820,000 kilometers. I'm not sure how much that'd be worth. Would it be worth much? Probably not. But isn't it incredible to see electric cars, just how long they last for, especially when this is a much older version? Apparently, he's still on the second set of brake pads. The original pads at the front were changed at 460,000 kilometers. The pads at the rear were changed at 770,000 kilometers. That's insane. I mention this benefit so often. I hate the fact that when I used to drive internal combustion cars using brake pads, I'd hate it. You pull it up to a brake light and you think, oh, another waste of money. That's costing me money. That's costing me money. But the fact that with your electric car, when you brake, you're just sending power back into your battery pack and you're not using brake pads. It's so cool, right? The fronts have plenty of life left, he says, after they were purchased in 2018. The $20,000 a year over 6 years has saved the business $120,000 in fuel and maintenance. If you don't have an electric car and you've got a business that relies on cars doing this kind of driving, you're kind of a bit crazy. I mean, you can save so much money by having an electric car. Let's say you drive for your own business or you drive for something like Uber. It really does make sense to go electric. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Tesla have now begun to offer the same deal that they're offering in the United States. Well, very similar deal anyway on the Tesla Model Y and the Model 3. So if you've ordered a Model Y or a Model 3, maybe see if you can cancel your order because you can get a discount based on the price you've paid. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Tesla are pushing. Big push, end of the quarter, trying to sell more Model Ys, more Model 3s. They're basically just trying to beat their numbers from last year, which is understandable. If they don't, then I'm sure the media will absolutely crucify them. And, there's been a lot of negative publicity over the last few months surrounding Elon Musk. Obviously some Tesla fans like him, some don't. And some people are now very much against Tesla. Those who voted for Democrats now obviously hate Tesla and Elon Musk. Not all of them, but many of them do. So there might be a little bit of pushback. A lot of people not buying your Teslas because of the political situation. I think that's happening. So Tesla they've put in some pretty big discounts in China, in the US, in other places for the Model Y and the Model 3. In the US, if you want to, you can get a Model Y and a Model 3, even a Cybertruck, Model S, every single Model X, for a discount of $2,000 if you use someone's referral code. Very, very easy to get. There's referral codes all over the internet. For Tesla, just Google Tesla referral code and you'll find one. It's just that simple. So you can do that, right? And then you get a $2,000 discount. Plus the person whose referral code you use gets $1,000. Now Tesla are offering the same thing in Australia. If you actually use someone's referral code, you get a $1,400 discount off the price of a Model 3 or a Model Y in Australia. That means the Model Y comes down to $54,600. $54,600. Now, yes, there is a delivery fee on top of that. That's true. But still, that is an amazing deal.